just a little minor procedure. So right now she's just resting. So I'm just giving Christine lots of healing energy. Um, and we also have a really powerful poet today named Wazir, and he's going to be coming on very shortly. But so the first thing I'd like to do is just, get a sense of, the people who are coming here. And, I just want to hear people kind of shout out, what's the word that describes how you're feeling today? And there's a couple of people. So maybe I just want to call on people, just hear, like, what's the word that describes how your day's been? I want to get what's the energy of the virtual audience. So let me go with Jude. How are you feeling? What's the word that describes you today? Oh wait, I don't know if they can even talk now. Can they? Can Jason?
Yeah,
All right.
they're able to unmute.
Oh, everyone's on mute. All right, never mind. So maybe put it in chat. I want to see if you can put it in chat what the words are. Um, and I'd like to just hear what's going on with people. So I'm gonna start here. I'm feeling juicy. Okay. And the reason I'm feeling juicy is there's a deep house music party happening in the park. It's gonna be all night, and I'm gonna go there and party after this. So if you want, please put a word and let's see what you got. What are you feeling today? Nice. Okay, Natalie. Thank you. Natalie's feeling fresh. Do we have any more words coming in? Connected. Beautiful. She's walking around the park and it's beautiful out. Oh, this is good. Fantastic. Nice. Hodoya, thank you. Oh, Temu. Temu, happy birthday. Happy birthday. Abraham, energetic. Shakoya is feeling lovely. Yes, happy birthday, Temu. Thank you. Okay, good. All right, so thank you for people for contributing the word. This is as close as we can get to some of like the live energy, and it's good to have a flow back and forth. So let me not waste too much time because we have a poet who has some good material to offer us, and then after the poet, we also are going to have space for you, the audience, if you can get you on cue to be able to contribute your poems. Okay. TT's having a pleasant day. Oh, this is good. All right, so let me read the bio for Wazir. So Wazir is a healer of self, and he hopes to inspire others to heal themselves as well. He uses instruments that resonates with the soul, the spirit, the mind, and the body. So he uses drums, the heart, flutes for the lungs. He has his vocal cords, and anything that could make an uplifting vibration. He is a son to a beautiful mother, Nadia, and father, Richard, a brother, cousin, nephew, and uncle and friend. He is a human being and a human balancing act. And actually, Balancing Act 2 was his first album. So if you like some of the poems that you hear today, feel free to check out his album, Balancing Act 2. And it was performed at the Apollo Theater auditions and it earned a spot to be on TV. He's been at the New England Urban Music Awards. He was the NUMA Poet of the Year, the New York Norwegian Poets Cafe Slam awarded, top three. In the 2013, the Boston Rap Album for the New Artist. He won the award in 2013 for New Rap Album, New Artist. So Wazir comes to you with some pretty heavy pedigree. He comes to you with a lot of experience being on stage. And so now I would like to introduce Wazir. If you're here, would you please come on through and start gracing us with your poetry?
Peace.
Wazir, is that you? I just heard this peace, 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 peace.
Peace. Can you hear me?
Yes, come, bring it home, daddy.
Okay. So I appreciate you, Nick, and I appreciate Christine as well. I'm very grateful for this opportunity to be here with you all. I appreciate everybody who's joined in and is participating and being a part of this. So let's see. So I have the image right now is the wide angle fish angle lens, so everybody can see everything that's happening. I do ask for some participation. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna just go ahead and do. Let's see. I'm gonna start this off with my sound bowl. All right. So if I told you the truth, would you even believe me? I know we can't speak back, but you can type in the chat. If I told you the truth, would you even believe me? Would I even believe me? Will you embrace me or besiege me? Will you erase me or receive me? For I'm just a reflection of you. And sometimes we regret what you view. You see, mutilation gains both avacation and congratulations. Graffiti is banned, but checking the homes of the wealthy and man, you'll be surprised. There's beauty in both the chaos and the synchronized. Ups and downs is life pulse. It means you alive. Overcome your fears and you will thrive. Overcome your tears and you will laugh. Have a blast. MLK through death is free at last. Truth is water and we all need it bad. Need a bath, do the math. But instead they put fluoride in it. And you looking at me like my face had 4 eyes in it. But if we can't fix the basics, our premature demise, we gon' face it. Delivering a stillborn, it's human nature to do both. Build and destroy, so we fill in the void. Tears of the guitar, they flow when you struck the chord. They act like children, that's why we call them D-boys. In a reference to Uncle Sam, we gotta call him a child, not the man. But you're scared they gon' hop up out the van, tie you in plastic bands, dump you in plastic cans. This ain't Breaking Bad. But they won't be happy until they break you bad. And truth is, when I'm 100% honest, don't mistake it for being mad. Instead, take it as evidence, never as arrogance. The truth is never permanent over every moment, but in every moment it's infinite. Only when it's slightly dirty can you witness the transparent bliss. And not much can get as transparent as this. You see, they say the eyes are the window to the soul. And the prizes dwindle as you get old. Absence of human touch when your day's old will cause the baby to grow cold and die before she or he is even weeks old. We need each other more than you know and more than we show. You see, they say the windows are the eyes to the soul and the value of the prizes dwindle as we get old. Absence of human touch when we're days old will cause the baby to grow cold and die before he or she is even weeks old. We need each other more than you know, and definitely more than we show. It's the window. Open it.
Woo! Hey, Wazir, before you go to the next one, I just wanted to ask a very quick question.
Yes.
One, I hear the image of the baby, and that resonates with me because it's spring and, you know, life is coming back to the trees. But would you describe that poem as a kind of an allegory of a metaphysical struggle or a political struggle or is it some other kind of struggle? But because there's definitely the sense of like, you know, a conflict against the kind of coldness encroaching into the world, and the baby becomes like a symbol of new life. But I was just wondering, is that more kind of political because we're living in highly politically charged times, or is that more kind of pulled from your spiritual struggle?
I appreciate you going deeper into it. I wrote it a while ago. I wrote it many years ago, but it seems to, as time passes, which is doesn't exist, the concept, it has a different impact based on what's going on around us. But the I would say it's a combination of both. You know, one it's the us being babies. We need love, you know, and if we were not to receive that, you know, we would actually pass away. You know, if we didn't have physical touch, we would pass away. So I think that what happens is we get older and we feel like, well, now we don't want, you know, we don't want touch. We don't want to be touched. We don't want, you know, we look to be isolated and alone. And you know, that is something that is self-destructive. You know, we need to hug each other. We need to love each other, support each other, and be there for each other. And then in terms of the code that is going on in the world, I think that, you know, there is a battle going on, you know, a spiritual, mental, physical, emotional war. And, you know, with social media being a big implementation of that, you know, the expand of our consciousness, you know, we have to constantly fight the urge to give into, you know, hate, and to give into fear, and you know, to choose love instead.
Okay, I hear that. Thank you. I didn't want to stop. I didn't want to interrupt your poetic flow. I know you got some more poems, but I teach literature, and so whenever I hear a poem and I hear images that stand out, my ears pick up, and I want to ask. And it's not. And since I teach literature, I often obviously teach, you know, works from authors who are either not actually in the room or maybe not even alive anymore. So it's a
Mm-hmm.
very rare treasure to actually talk to the author in the moment.
I understand that, and I appreciate that.
Yeah. Go ahead, keep knocking it out though.
All right. So for this next piece, and you know, I just want to say that you know, I appreciate you all and I love you all, and not the you that we've been told we are, but the you that, you know, we know we are, that we decide that we are. And not the love of possession and fear that we've been taught it is, but of truth and freedom and compassion and forgiveness that we know it is. You know, so for this next piece, it is for someone who's no longer here with us. And in respect of that, for that, I would greatly be honored and humbled and appreciate if everyone can close their eyes for this next piece, and you know, just rest your eyes, you know, and just be at peace, just hearing what's going on. Close your eyes. Now picture a little kid, 12 years old and about to turn 13 on the 12th. Now I want you to decide the color of his skin. Don't tell me, just remember it. Now imagine him walking home in the freezing cold with the wind burning his chest because his jacket zippers broke so his coat won't close, snot freezing as it's running down his nose. His boots have holes so he can't feel his toes. He hates school because the agony of being ridiculed makes him feel pitiful. And the definition of those words he doesn't even know. So he's forced to look for and escape because he's feeling like a monkey surrounded by apes. I mean, out of place. So he takes his friend's liquor bottle and drinks a sip because he's seen them go from mad to happy after they took a swig out of it. Now we're starting to feel tipsy, like that song by Jay Quan, or maybe a better analogy is a hippie from the 70s. See, with brain damage comes the loss of memories, and that means what will vanish is the dream of a wonderful life that now he'll never lead. Now we started skipping school, breaking the rules, turning into a rebel. His moms and dad aren't able to see his troubles because they both work 3 jobs so they could feed his brothers and sisters and clothe them. Now authority figures, he's starting to loathe them. And we all know where this will lead. Now we started smoking weed, even though most will disagree. It's the gateway drug of the 21st century, meaning eventually, if not mentally, it will destroy you physically. So now I know you're probably thinking his destiny is inevitably hopeless. But no, instead he took the words of wisdom from his family, quit cold turkey, all of his negative tendencies, got a good job and steadily started to invest, save, and reinvest in his community. I'm sorry to end the story so suddenly, but open your eyes and see. That young 13-year-old kid was me. Yeah. So I think the thing that we have to remember is we all go through this life at different phases and different stages. We're not all going through it at the same pace. So be gentle and forgive yourself and forgive others as they're going through their spiritual growth, physical, mental, social growth, and spiritual growth. And just do your best. I just do your best day to day, to improve and to be a better version of yourself. And also to be at peace and comfortable with who you currently are, because that's all who you'll ever be. I would like to, in a little bit of an interlude with this, I would like to play some of my instruments. I still have a few more poems as well, though. We got this little turtle right here for you all. Okay.
As I sit, as I sit here, I give thanks to my mother Naida who created me from a seed. And my father Richard who was the carrier delivering me. To her. And each previous couple of grandparents until it became asexual reproduction and woe manifestation in each life predecessor until the very first spark that started this chain reaction cycle I am the current result of. Each of us humans have that in common. We are closer in age than we are apart. For what is 120 years, a comparison of a number that has no end, infinity. And when we look inwardly, dividing down to a number that has no beginning, the infinitesimal. The gap between the oldest living human and youngest created human is minuscule. We should be including newborns and up in the conversation about how we run the world. Because them cries is words too. But instead we argue and fight about who was the original. We argue and fight about genders, colors, hair textures and lengths, body heights and weights, sexual orientations and our birthplace and every other difference that can be detected. Our natural identity is our birthright. Yet we argue and fight
We argue and fight. We argue and fight about whose system of control and management of society is best, rather than focusing on improving on the current systems we are a part of by adopting what is best and discarding the rest. Besides food cultures, besides fashion senses, besides entertainment methods, besides the most extravagant and luxurious lifestyles possible, from the slums of the world to the Trump Towers and Burj Khalifa, yet I see them both as the same thing. Due to the marginalized, ostracized, disenfranchised, uninsured, hospitalized, and countless whom I refuse to allow to be uncounted, who have lost their lives to actualize the dreams and drive of those who sit in thrones of gold for the egos to be satisfied. From the Great Wall to Berlin to what Trump's planning on building, you see, silence is worse than violence because it allows violence to act and speak for it. Transparency is honorable and noble until on a transparent and shared hit list just because you're trying to make positive changes. See, this ain't no John Wick. Secrecy is dangerous, but it too has its place. Extremism is fear, but it too has its place. We push back against what causes pain to others with equal and opposite force in hopes of overpowering with love, but hate, it too has its place. We can't love the tragedies we see. We hate them. We hate them! So after we use love to try to find a way to eradicate them, refugees, we displace them, display them as born in the wrong time, wrong place one. The burden is on you to figure a way out. Simply create one, disregarding our connection and contribution that has helped shape them and still contains them. Well then, what shall we do? Is naturally the next burning question. The answer, everything we can. Allow the leaders of the world to be those who are masters and teachers of crafts of trade, like doctors and retired doctors, nurses and retired nurses, plumbers, carpenters, welders, pipe fitters, architects and electricians, solar technicians, computer scientists, marine biologists, engineers, entomologists, and every other type of specialist, scientists, philanthropists, the most celebrated humanitarian activists, artists, and inventors of inventions that are positives, midwives and doulas, and including the people who use the things that we produce, because we're all needed to be included. The panel to spare the spaceship Earth. We should be creating spaceships, maybe an eighth the size of the Earth to diverse the universe, but after we heal the Earth first, Elon Musk must keep on, I guess. But I digress. What political system did he use in the International Space Station? Honestly, I doubt it was democracy or capitalism. We should fulfill the Venus Project prophecy. And that's an ode to Jacques Fresco and Roxanne Meadows. You see, ask what can you do to the people who are already doing it? But most importantly, do something. Do to others as you would want done to yourself. Look at everyone as your family and continue to help. Everyone here wants to hear something compelling and profound. Truly, you are the ones who have the ability to change the world. It's up to you and me to be compelled to do it. By changing ourselves, we do it. So let's do it. I appreciate you.
Wazir, I just want to make sure, do you have more? And I hope you do, but I just want to just check in to see. I didn't want to disturb the flow. See if you got some more.
I do. I do. I definitely wanted to play a couple more instruments. How much? What time do we have?
Right now we're good. You know, we have at least until like say 8:30 or so. Okay. And this is what I'm gonna ask, because you have a really chill, you have like really like militant, beautiful, strong poems, and then you have a really good amount of like chill. So feel free to answer questions that come in the chat. But this is my one request, is that the next time you do a poem or a composition, maybe tell us a little bit of what inspired it, where it came from. And it doesn't have to be a book length PhD thesis, but I just thought that people may want to know where some of the beautiful poetry and beautiful music that you're giving us came from.
Okay, I appreciate that. So I would say, I guess to touch back on the previous one that I did, which was changing my life, really. The clothes are just a shell. What's really important is what's on the inside. And what inspired the change for sure is my exposure to great pain and suffering. Through that and through personal experience of it, and then also witnessing it from others experiencing it, and including the they call them NDEs, right? Near death experiences. Realization of humbling myself. I'm gifted to be living right now, to be breathing right now. I mean, most of our energy and our thoughts and our efforts are focused on things that we think matter more than what really matters, which is us being alive and well, and us being able to do for ourselves and others, and us being able to enjoy life. So I focused a lot of my energy when it became that, and to even give you the story behind the near-death experience. I was on my way to visit a friend who was incarcerated in a so-called correctional facility. And as I was driving, and I say this with everlasting shame, I was speeding to get there. And so I was speeding to get there, and instead of taking my time and accepting the fact that I was going to miss being able to make it to the visit, speeding where a car had came out where I didn't believe it was possible, because it was a median, but the median broke at one point. And at that moment, my life flashed before my eyes. And I went through all my memories of from my childhood, not all, but as many as I could. And it was beautiful to replay that. And at the same time, I snapped myself out of it. Something pulled me out of it, where I said, this isn't over until it's over, And so I said, I have to focus, and I have to get out of this situation. And so instead of slamming on the brakes, because I played a lot of video games when I was younger, so that's probably one of the main things that saved me. And in particular, I even was, practicing with a race car driving game, had a steering wheel for it. So I knew not to slam on the brakes, because that would have caused me to lose control. And instead, I just let go of the gas. And I think that was a pretty big metaphor too for life, where a lot of times we slam on the brakes and it causes us to lose control. And instead, we just need to let go of the gas and just coast until we run out of that energy, and then change direction, slow down. So I avoided the car to the left. It came out even more, and then I had to swerve back to the right. And this is all in split second timing. And then I had to avoid the tree that I was going to hit. And then I gained control back of the car, and I kept going down the street. And when I looked back, it was really far away. So, and I don't believe I had my seatbelt on, and I don't believe that there was airbags in the car. So I had realized that would have been the end, most likely. And so then after that, it was just like, I have to slow down. I have to really just breathe and relax and just be in the moments. And it's not about being fearful, but being cautious, because fear is not real, but danger is. And so I changed up my perspective from there, and I started to really be appreciative more so for the days that I had. And I feel like every day from there was a gift. And so I just do my best to spread love and to, help people just be happy in the current moments they're in, even to the point where I go to, anytime I go to any stores, any kind of interactions with other human beings, where they're working or they're preoccupied doing something that they are needing to do for their own well-being and survival. I just treat them with compassion. It's the realization that everybody is a reflection of yourself. Everything is a reflection of yourself. So, I want myself to be treated good. So I do my best. I do my best to treat everyone else how I would want to be treated, and to really value the days the moments that we have, because it's not the destination of finally when you achieve this goal or this accomplishment. It is through all the things that you're going through towards that. So that's really been my big thing. Is I'm just very grateful for being alive and for being able to share these different aspects of the things that I've had to go through, and ancestors and different family members and friends and even strangers, people I don't necessarily know, that they've had to go through. I know I did go on a little long. I know you say it doesn't have to be long, but in a lot of ways, I feel like, the poetry is in, and they say poetry in motion. And instead of, I feel like a big aspect is not in the poems that I write, but a huge aspect is in, what's written on my heart that I want to share with the world. I feel like that's even more valuable than having something that happens to rhyme on purpose. I'm not sure if you wanted to chime back in, Nick. Let's see. The last poem that I had just read was, I thought I went through that one as I had traveled. I went overseas to visit a friend who was on tour. Bakari JB is an artist as well, and he was touring with another artist, Rex, and that was a blessing to join him on that journey. And they pulled me in and embraced me with open arms and love. I'm eternally grateful for them. It was another artist, Relentless, and Lucky Dice, a couple other great artists, Phillips, and it was a blessing, because they really just welcomed me as if I was I was their brother, and they allowed me the space to be able to perform there as well. And so that whole experience was so uplifting, and I was so grateful for that, because I had traveled to Germany, and I got to watch them perform out there. And then when I traveled to Copenhagen, Denmark, they were performing there, and he blessed me with being able to perform out there on that stage. And I actually there's a funny story about the Copenhagen, Denmark, because I had got on stage to perform, and that poem, the one about the baby, the window, that poem was written when I was in a pretty sad, dark place, dealing with a lot of the stuff that was going on in the world, and just working full-time job, and just kind of coming to the realization of what I thought life was going to be. And I had got on stage to perform in Copenhagen, Denmark, and I got this crowd in front of me, and everybody, the day before, it was love. And then going to Denmark, I fell asleep on the train. That when I woke up, it was dark, and I'm like in a building. I don't know what's going on. It wasn't moving. And I get off the train, and the conductor, one of the guys, is like, "Yeah, you just got to go upstairs." So I'm completely discombobulated, and I go on the elevator upstairs, and I walk out, and I'm on a boat. It's a ferry that the train went into to go across to Copenhagen from Germany. So I had no idea. That was just a beautiful moment. And get to Denmark, everyone's showing so much love. There was a surfer who broke his back, and he healed and recovered from that. And he's a photographer now. And you know, him and his daughter were there, and they just welcomed me with so much love. And we were just sitting down talking about life, and we all had a very similar outlook on what life was about, and what we're dealing with from the standpoint of like society and governments and everything along that line. And I was just so grateful and so happy to be there, and just seeing that people were loving people all over. So I end up getting on stage with taking that vibe of everything that I was just explaining to you. And I go to start saying the poem. And as I get like a quarter into it, I'm looking at the crowd, and everyone's just paying attention and just really you know, really engaged. And I'm thinking about how grateful I am to be alive right now, to be out here and performing. And I couldn't even remember the poem. It was from a sad place, and I was feeling so happy and grateful that it just wasn't coming back to me. So they, you know, they poked fun at me a little bit, some of the people there, but I ended up doing a different one. And then from there, there still was a lot of love after the show. And then Switzerland was amazing with the performance out there. The people were great. And you know, I just got to a point where I'm like, all right, well, you know, what am I going to do as I'm coming back from there to really put this into a word form? And then what is my message? You know, what is my message to the world? So that's where I ended up putting together that the last one that I performed for you all. That whole combination of events led up to that one. Let's see. You know, I'm gonna go ahead and bring some higher vibrations. This is the The key is your breath. Deep breaths. Even when you're stressed, deep rest is what is awaiting. So we should be patient. This life is beautiful that we're facing. And that includes even those who went through accidents where they're now faceless. I know medical abilities have created facelifts, but you should face it. You're beautiful no matter how your body is or how large your waist is. You see, we all got time and it's beautiful. We shouldn't waste it. But sometimes we have to revert back to the basics. You see, life is whatever we want it to be. And it could be beautiful if you and me will allow ourselves to be however we want it to be. Truthfully, the truth is the only true currency. We don't need crypto. Sometimes life can leave you in the crypto. So you should possibly eclipse those thoughts where you thought calypso was beautiful tempo if you want it to be, but you should probably be whatever you want it to be. You see, me and you is here, and that's the only thing that's here. So we are aware. It's very clear. Life is very near and very dear. So we should be very fair to ourselves and to others. We all came into this world through our fathers and then through our mothers. So we should remove the covers over our eyes. And that's 3. Third one, you're not blind. You can see. Me and you could be whatever we want it to be, truthfully. So we need to be whatever we want to be in this life. For that one, I actually just thought of that right now. Be honest, that one I just thought of and just did off the top of my head.
That's really good for something off the top of your head. The guru of spontaneity.
You know what I'm saying? I don't want to dig through the phone for things, you know?
Yeah, no, just keep flowing with it, man. The flow is nice.
I appreciate you.
I'm literally have a bottle of wine and I'm just drinking as you play your music. So I'm pretty set. We're good.
Awesome. So I'll give the stories behind the instruments. This is actually the first flute that I received that I requested to have made for me. It's a zebra wood, and I don't know if you can see it, but so from the aspect of the chakras, what I can say is the first flute that I played is a low A, and that is like more so like the root chakra of my set. And then going from there is the Bansurai, and that's in Indian from India style flute, and that's a E, that's a low E. Then the following flute, which this one here was it's a D sharp, I believe. So that one's like the sacral chakra, and then the following flute was the heart chakra, which is the F sharp. And that's it's actually a double flute. That's why you can hear a little bit of the unison going on there. So that's that opening up your heart right there. And this next flute is the G, and that is the throat chakra. And so, this flute was a good flute to start with because it was me expressing it's a very communicative energy. So commutative, I think it's communicative. So I'm gonna share, and everything that I'm playing music wise is always for me, it's just in the moment. It's nothing that I've rearranged. Let's see. Actually, throw the rain stick on for y'all. So for to answer the question, is I taught myself, and I don't say that, I say that only in the way of I didn't go to I didn't have lessons. I was taught by, let me take that back. That's the ego. I'm gonna take that back. I didn't teach myself. I was blessed to be able to experiment with the instruments, and play them just because of my passion and love of hearing it. I've always resonated with me since I was a child. And it wasn't until I was older, it was only maybe about 3 years now of actually playing, maybe a little less than 3 years, 2.5 years or so of getting my first flute. Because it was just a realization after I heard like a video where the flute was being played, and I'm like, man, this sounds so amazing. I want to share that with other people. I want to share that vibe that I'm getting from hearing this. And I'm realizing that I'm older, I can get whatever I want to get, so, what am I putting my energy and time into? And I decided to go ahead and reach out to get my first flute. And then from there, my mind was blown, and I'm like, I need to be able to have the whole spectrum. So I'm still searching for more that resonate with that. But in the time being, I just practice with it by myself. Other instruments, the same thing, but a little bit like, I would say mostly it was learning from hearing other people playing it and wanting to recreate the good emotions that brought. So you know, the world taught me in that case. Let's see. So right now this one is going a little higher. This is the third eye chakra, I would believe, in the set. Let's see. Excuse me. Okay. I got a few more. And I got an experimental one over there, but I don't know if I want to play that one. Need more practice. In answer of that question, I don't look at myself as a master of it, but rather I look at myself as someone who loves it. You know, I just love it so much, and I love, you know, sharing it. I love hearing it. I love how it realigns myself and grounds me, and I love how, you know, people are able to really be grateful for that, and you know, to relay that to me, that message that it was influential and uplifting for them. So, you know, I don't feel like, I don't know if, you know, I feel like I'll always figure out different aspects of playing and different ways to play as I continue on my journey. But I really appreciate you feeling as if I am a master of these instruments. But you know, I look at myself as just a big kid, you know, to be honest. So grateful to be able to share it, you know. And every time I'm never sure how people will receive it, you know. So that you feel that way, you know, you definitely make me feel very grateful. definitely do your best to enjoy your life. Do your best. Try different things. Enjoy the things that you don't like to try, and enjoy watching other people try things. Don't be so hard on yourselves, you know? Ease up, be gentle with yourself. You are loved and appreciated, even if you might not feel it at times. So this is the finale. I got 1 minute. This is as high as it gets on my flute so far. So I am eternally grateful for you, Nick, you, Christine, and for the people behind the scenes who have been working on the Zoom being put together, the engineers and the technologicalists behind there. I appreciate you and I value you and I honor you. And I honor everyone who is in the audience, who's here sharing these moments with us. And I am looking forward to, you know, I'm grateful for this moment in itself, and that's it. And however, in addition to that, looking forward to any and everyone who wants to reach out to continue building and expanding on these moments that we have to be able to share with each other.
Thank you, Wazir. Can we give Wazir? Show him with your hands. Yay! Good job. Good job. Oh, this is good. Wazir, I just want to say that the calming melodies that you gave us was a perfect way to end a workday in NYC.
Mm.
And that the kind of melodious flow of your voice is very calming, and that it felt like I was dipping into an oasis in the desert.
Very grateful.
And
For
it's
those
good
words.
because New York is a loud bang, Kerrang, crash, beat bop city. And so calmness and serenity are some of the most like highly valued experiences here. So thank you. um and so now we have a little bit of time, and I want to know if people here have anything they would like to, either questions for Wazir, or do you have a, at the most 2-minute poem or some kind of narrative piece that you would like to share with us? And if so, maybe put your name in the chat and we can see if the tech staff could begin to, get some of those people who have something that they want to share unmuted so that you could share. Okay, just looking for names. If anyone wants to share anything, this would be a good time to do it. All right. I'm not seeing a lot of names here. Okay. Um. So then, Wazir, you there?
Yes.
All right. So what I like to do then is to close this night out with maybe a little bit of improv. So I'm going to do a kind of praise poem for you, and as my way of thanking you. But I'm going to ask if you can just play a song, or just vamp on a flute, or just give me a soundscape, and I want to just do an improvisational praise poem for you, Wazir, as to say thank you so much. So take a moment and figure out if there's some soundscape you can create, and it'll just only be like 30 seconds or a minute.
Okay. See if I can do that. I think I can.
Nice, good. Praise poem for Wazir. Music man who's left footprints across the face of the earth, who blows through his flute music notes that get lodged in our nerve endings. Music notes that fly over and through our eyes like a flock of birds searching for warmer climates on the other side of our rotating heartbeat. Wazir, the music man, sculpting the morning dew into a melody. Wazir, music man, shimmering rain to wear as an overcoat, whose tongue is a weather vane telling us the next hurricane to come. Wazir, Egyptian sculpture come to life to blow music into the 21st century. Wazir is tall and as sharp as a needle and a compass to direct us back to the promised land. Wazir massaging our muscles with promises. Wazir using the rainbow as a ladder to grab the last smile as a balloon to fly over the cold, empty city. Wazir, handsome sculpture, talented music note, dapper man coming out of the magazine, who wraps a bow tie of music around the world and gives us back our lives as a gift. Thank you. Yeah, man. I
I,
appreciate you.
I appreciate you, Nick. Very grateful for you.
Dude, thank you. That was perfect. I love vamping poetry to your soundscapes, man. That felt perfect and natural. I like that a lot.
Excellent, excellent. As did I.
Cool. All right, thank you, everyone. So what you just witnessed, that was totally spontaneous, and that's part of the New Eurekan magic, is that you can do kind of spontaneous things here. The New Eurekan at its best is not only a glamorous stage that is kind of mainstay in New York, where the spotlight can be focused on really talented artists and get them to the next level, but it's also a laboratory. It's a place of experiment where emotions and instruments and language and art can crash together and come out in new forms. And so, that's just a small taste of what we do at the New Eurekan. So, with that, I want to ask if everyone could give one final applause to this really talented brother, Wazir. Thank you so much. Oh, that's perfect. All right. And so that's it, folks. I want you to have a great night. I'm wrapping a big hug around you from the New Eurekan. And soon, I hope very, very soon, you'll be able to come through those doors and get a little bit more buzz, get some beers from the bar, and maybe go up into the spotlight and give us some of your poetry. That would be a wondrous thing to see your faces in real life giving us some poetry. But until then, have a great time. Stay safe. We're getting to the end of the pandemic. The vaccines are rolling out and we're getting more and more free every single day. I got my shot and I'm going to get my second one on Monday. So I encourage everyone out there to get their vaccine shot so we can get this goddamn thing behind us. All right. All right, folks. Thank you so much. Take care and have a great night.